So I've got some healthy foods that might add inches to your waistline. Healthy foods that might add inches to your waistline. Does that even make any sense? It actually does. So a lot of my videos, if you guys are following me, I want to start out just being completely honest. I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not a doctor. And everything that you're about to hear comes from my perspective, my point of view. But it is based on learning from some of the top athletes in the world. One of the people that I love talking about all the time is a lady named Tasha Danvers. She ran the hurdles and got the bronze in, I think it was Beijing. A fantastic athlete. One of my good friends, Tony Horton, one of the most famous fitness trainers in the world. Along with just being around a slew of trainers, I try to surround myself with just fantastically smart people and learn from people that are actually in the trenches trying to eat healthy every single day. Instead of sometimes you see people online that are just kind of claiming this is healthy, that is healthy, but you know that they don't really live that lifestyle. So I talk about a lot about kind of theories. Hey, you want to do this, you want to do this, you want to do this. I thought today we'd switch it up and just talk actual products, look at some labels, look at some facts, and kind of go through how I would determine if these healthy foods are something that I want to use to lose weight, because you can easily have healthy foods that won't or not necessarily won't help you lose weight. Maybe they need to be used in a different way, right? Every single tool needs to be used for its purpose, and food is no different. So I want to start with this one, and it's one of my favorite. It's called Shakeology. And you know what? I'm just going to go out there. Yes, I'm a Beachbody coach. Yes, I get compensated for Shakeology. I have been on it for 6 years. I am a fan of this product, so I talk about it all the time. It's important to me, and I truly believe that it changes people's nutrition. But like all products, it has its time and it has its place. So for people trying to lose weight, I think that's kind of the larger category of people who are going to listen to this video. For people who are trying to lose weight, let's look at certain things. Now, if you're trying to lose weight, I would assume that fats, sugars, carbs are the biggest issue. They're the biggest issue. Those are what's probably you're overeating and not eating enough of the proteins and vegetables, right? I think that's probably a fair statement. Raise your hand. I can't see you, but that's okay. So what we're fighting against really is the fats and carbs, and trying to make sure that we're having healthy ones of these things. So Shakeology. Now, just because something comes in a bag and it looks like a protein, or it comes in powdered form, does not necessarily mean it's a protein shake or it's just protein. So what I do is, one, I never read the front of a package. Rule number one, if you stop this video right now and you get nothing else from me during this, I want you to glance over the front of the package, get a generic or general understanding of what maybe it is, and then see if it was lying on the back. So I go to the back of the package, and I'm just gonna go over the general things here. Fat, 3 grams. Carbs, 18. Protein, 16. Okay, so I'm looking at this. It has essentially a 1-to-1 ratio of proteins and carbs. So this is not a protein powder, right? If it was a protein powder, it would have way more protein than it does carbs. This, in fact, is actually a meal replacement shake, because a standard healthy meal, you want a healthy amount of protein, fats, and carbs. Now, this happens to have a slew of nutrition in it. When I talk about nutrition, hey, let's stop this for a second, when I talk about nutrition, I talk about the vitamins, the minerals that are in the food or whatever it is that you're looking at. That's why we have these things called superfoods. If you can Google it yourself, technically they don't exist. But when people talk about a superfood, it means that particular food has more nutrition in it than the standard amount of food. I believe blueberries are one of them. They have just a lot more jam-packed vitamins and minerals than, say, maybe some kind of other berry, like a strawberry or something. So the blueberry gets put into this superfood category. Now, this is full of superfoods. So for a very low amount of calories, 160, you get tons and tons of vitamins, minerals, and things that you're probably spending money on your own. Maybe go to GNC and get a multivitamin. I stopped my multivitamin when I stopped with this. So Shakeology, not a protein powder. It is a meal replacement. So I just bought this next thing. Now, this is pretty apparent. Right on the front, it says protein. So the very first thing I go, because a lot of times when they say protein, like I go right to the back of the package. I say, well, prove it to me. Now, I am a fan of things that are sprouted now. I know, here, this is a Kuwait, I bought this thing in Kuwait, and they put the label over the words on the package. It's ridiculous. But it says organic, raw, sprouted, non-GMO, brown rice, aramuth, quinoa, millet, and pumpkin seed. And it's vegan. I like vegan things because I eat a lot of meat, so I like to find balance. But I go to the back. Fat, 1 gram. Carbs, 4. Protein, 17. I'm a fan. It said protein on the front, and it has a large, a little bit over 4 times the amount of protein than it does in carbs in the back. So I am a huge, huge fan of this. Now, I still haven't talked about ingredients or some of the other little things that people can talk about, but I find that most people already have a very strong belief in what they either don't want in their body or they do. So you don't need that in this video. But protein powder, I'm like, all right, you didn't lie to me. That's what it is. Fantastic. I can have this. Now, where do I have this? Anywhere that I need extra protein in my diet that day. Remember, Shakeology, meal replacement, maybe even a snack. Okay, I can replace a meal with it because it has healthy carbs and fats. This protein powder, I wouldn't say that I would have this as a meal unless I just needed like a pure protein meal or I was on some kind of keto diet or something. I would have this as in addition. Maybe I'd mix it in with my Shakeology. You know, maybe I'd have it in addition to a healthy meal just to get in a little bit more protein. Maybe I'd have it after a workout. Maybe I'd have it during a workout to kind of keep a nice flow of protein. Maybe I have it before bed to also do that. So that's different uses. Both healthy products. 2 different uses. Don't use them the same way. I've got another one that I'm a big fan of. If you guys have been on my page, this is the Great Lakes. By the way, Shakeology, for full transparency, I get commission for. This, I do not. None of these other products do I get anything. I'm just promoting them because I use them and I love them. And I believe that if you're going to promote a product, you have to use it, or what's the point? This is one. This is collagen hydrosolate. I don't know how to say it. Somebody else fix me. But this is a protein and collagen powder that I've actually been really loving. And so I look right on the back. It's actually got 3 things. I know my light is crazy bright, but it has 11 grams of protein, some sodium, very few calories, 43, and that's it. That's it. There's no carbs. So this is like a pure, very pure protein. Now I take the collagen for joint health and skin as well. But this is just a product that I've been buying now for 6-8 months, depending on the time that you watch this, and a big fan. But again, this has a very similar use as this. Right? Now, this has a little bit of joint health. This has a sprouted thing for gut health. So I would balance the 2 of these things. Now, notice that both of these, now this one has a little bit more marketing than the other one, protein. This has like no marketing. It just has a picture of the planet. Now we got this one. Got this the other day. Protein pebbles. Protein pebbles. Let's take a look. So it's got a picture of a mussel on the front, which tells me, hey, I'm going to get some mussels if I buy this thing. But the ingredients at the bottom say cranberries and oats. Now, I know cranberries are healthy and oats are fine too. I look at the back. Protein, 20 grams. Fantastic. Carbs, 32. 32 grams of carbs. To me, that's just a little insane. I mean, if you're going to tell me that you have protein pebbles, I would assume as a consumer, if I wasn't thinking hard enough to actually look at the back, I would assume that I'm getting a lot of protein here. And 20 grams might be, but I'm getting more, not double, but at least 150% more carbs in this little snack. So that kind of worries me, that people might spend money, and this was like $6 or $7, might be spending money adding inches to their waistline and not realizing because the front of the package says, you know, look, there's a muscle. Not to mention the energy, the calories in this is 272 calories. 272 calories. That's kind of insane. That's starting to bank up on meal. You could have 2 full shakes of Shakeology with better ratios, way more nutrition, and it would be 2 full shakes. Or you could have one of these little packets of these protein pebbles. So, point of this video was to just pick some products that I had laying around my house and take a look at them. how would you use these things? Now, this thing, I'm not saying that this is bad for you. And that's not what I'm saying. I think it has its time and use. If you're away from a meal all day and you're busy and, you don't have many other options, this isn't bad. It's healthy, but you'd have to be aware that this would have some carbs in it. So if you're trying to cut back on carbs or control that, you have to just make sure that you figure this into your calculations. That's all. It's not bad for you. It's just you need to use healthy food wisely, just as wisely as you do the bad foods for cheat meals or whatever it might be. So the point is, even healthy food can add inches to your waistline if you're not careful. Just to be a little aware, never read the front of a package because it doesn't really tell you anything. And if the front of a package ever tells you that it doesn't have this, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have this, that means that it's just hiding, usually, what it actually does have. So this was a little example. If you guys, thank you, first of all, I'm sorry. Thank you everybody who's watching and commenting on this video as it's playing. I will get to your questions as soon as possible and message you directly after this. But if you have any products of your own that you'd like my perspective on and how I might use them in my own health and fitness, I would love to hear what you got and give you some information, do another video. If you have any other questions on anything, please, please, please let me know, and we'll keep these videos going. I'm having fun making them, and hopefully you're having fun watching them. Have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are. Thanks a lot for joining.